I'm Morgan Hilliard, Executive Director of the Simsbury Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is excited to share with you a new series from the Health and Wellness Committee called My Wellness Journey. Each episode will be focused on a specific aspect of our overall wellness, such as stress and healthy eating. We will be meeting with a variety of Chamber member businesses to learn how their specialty may improve our health and keep us mindful during these difficult times. This fascinating program will introduce you to people who work right here and are so passionate about what they do and excited to share their expertise. I'd like to introduce committee members Scott Weiss from K-Journal Coaching and Nakia Kurse from your CBD store, Simsbury, to talk a little more about our first episode, which is focused on stress. Hi guys, how are you?
Good.
Excellent.
Thanks,
Excellent.
Morgan.
So tell me a little bit about how you guys cope with stress.
Well, for me, a lot of what I do for stress involves around just like some activity. It could be walking, some exercise, helps me in my stress a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's so funny, Scott, that you say that because mine involves the exact opposite, which is just decompressing and trying to slow things down just to, whether it's taking a relaxing bath or just spending time with my kids where we're just playing. Those kind of things just help me decompress from a lot of things that just may be going on in my day.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's such an interesting point that you just made, is everyone has such a personal take on how to de-stress and how to stay more in the moment, and everyone handles it so differently.
I know, and that's why I'm really excited about today's episode, because we're going to explore something that may be a little bit different that people don't think about, right? Because sometimes it's not, you don't even know the options that are out there for you to see if it's something that could work for you and help you out in your regimen.
Absolutely.
That is, and we all deal with things differently. We all have, different habits, different routines, and so by being able to expose lots of different avenues that people take to, kind of look at their stress, identify their stress, and then build maybe some new and healthy habits and routines around how to deal with that. Because the reality is that for me, and the way that I look at things, is that stress isn't a bad thing. Stress often pushes our boundaries. It gets us out of a place of an uncomfortable situation, right? Like a lot of times we get a lot of stress just from being, in a new situation. And so what better way to do that than just say, okay, this is a new situation, we'll get past this, but what are some of the healthy balances that you have to help you deal with being in that present stress?
That's a great point. Using it to be more productive rather than letting it kind of choke you up and become this negative impact on your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really where it's very exciting to kind of think of some different things. For me, one of the big things when I first started really just taking a more mindful kind of journey was journaling. But there's lots of different ways. And I think that it all just revolves around, right, just being mindful of ourselves and kind of what we all need, because we all need something different.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, in the last year for me, I've started taking more CBD as well, because hemp does have some of those natural properties that help you feel more calm and in a more relaxed state. So that's definitely helped, but it's not the be all end all. There are definitely other things you have to do in your life. And one of the things that I found with starting to explore the journaling was also one of the things that stressed me out was having so much to think about at one time and not having order around how I went about it. And so I think, the combination of different things has helped me in different ways.
Yeah, and it's amazing, the more people you talk to, the more people don't really take priority for themselves, right? Like everyone is here helping other people, kids, family members or whatnot, but most people don't take times to think about themselves and what they need. And one of the things that I learned after taking care of my mother was that while I gave my mother everything that I had, if I wasn't at 100%, then I wasn't giving her 100%. And so for anyone who is taking care of anybody, you have to fill your bucket. And what are you doing to fill your bucket so that you can then take care of others? And I think that that's the important thing to focus on.
I agree. How about you, Morgan? Anything that's unique that you do kind of thinking about stress, or maybe even during COVID?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's unique, but I kind of use both of the techniques that you guys mentioned. I need to slow down, but I also need to get outside. So for me, that's a big one, which makes me a little nervous for the winter because I also am not a huge fan of the cold. So it's going to be
You'll be
difficult.
shoveling. They'll get you out there.
It'll be a difficult couple of months for me.
And the fun thing that I did last year was that I did this Winter Warrior Challenge where you did a mile either walking or running outside every day for the month of January, which was great because I then kept that through February, and then by the time COVID hit, which was early March, it kept me walking outside. And so when COVID hit and everything got closed up and we couldn't go anywhere, I would take 4 or 5 walks a day, and it was just a way for me to stay grounded, just like you were talking about, getting outside, getting some fresh air, and just being grounded.
Yeah, I definitely need to get outside, but I have to keep active. Because if I let myself sit, then I'll end up sitting there too long. And then that makes it almost builds on the issues, and it makes me more bummed than if I had just gotten up and done something to feel productive.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just cleaning or anything where I feel like the time hasn't been wasted.
But sometimes it's okay to just have, to not feel like every moment of your day, because that can also be stressful when you're like starting to beat yourself up because you didn't do as much as you thought you needed to do. And sometimes you just need to stop, and you need to, and I think that's one of the things that COVID gave us was, although it was, and it still is scary and, pushed us into a new normal, it also made us slow down on some things and even appreciate some things that were right around us.
Yeah, I think it's important to be kind to ourselves.
Yes.
And to allow ourselves to not be perfect, and to have a moment where we're saying, this is overwhelming for me, so I need to sit and I'm going to watch trash reality TV for 20 minutes.
Oh, you know my thing, Morgan. You know my thing. So what interesting thing today are we going to talk about stress? What interesting business are we going to have?
Which is really why I'm excited, because we're going to take a look at Imagine Float in Avon, which is a great way to really look at some new alternative therapies to dealing with stress, whether it be cryotherapy or just floating in a salt bath, which is really just some great ways to take a look at your stress and what you may need for yourself. So
perfect.
I'm very excited to learn more about that.
Me too.
Well, let's take a trip on over there.
All right, let's go.
Wow, we're finally here at Imagine Float. We're here with one of the partners, one of the owners, Lynn. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming. We're at Imagine Float in Avon. We have our wellness boutique where we offer 4 non-invasive services that help you relax, refresh, renew: compression therapy, infrared sauna, cryotherapy, and flotation therapy. Let's take a look. I'd love to give you a tour.
Can't wait.
Here we go.
So this is our compression therapy. We have Nakia in the boots. It's a 5-zone attachment. We start at the feet and go all the way up in a rhythmic fashion up to upper part of your thigh. It squeezes and compresses and pulses in a rhythmic fashion up and down for about 30 minutes. It recirculates your blood, flushes out lactic acid, and removes waste product. Here at Imagine Float, it's also a very super relaxing experience. We can dim the lights, we leave you alone, and people end up falling asleep. So it's one of the services here where you don't have to get wet, cold, or sweat. And it just really, everyone deserves it. Everyone who's on their feet all day, people who work in the hospitality industry, in the medical field, can benefit from a therapy like this. Okay, so here we are in the float room at Imagine Float, and Scott is having his little float therapy session right now. We're going to interrupt him just to show you what it looks like. So he's floating effortlessly in this water that's filled with magnesium Epsom salts. He's decompressing his spine, he's relaxing his muscles and his joints. He's even his fingers, and if he moves them around, he'll even move a little bit without even realizing it. Someone can come in here and do a lot of rehab or prehab, before surgery, post-surgery. When you spend some time in physical therapy, you can overdo it a little bit. And you can come here and do some range of motion and work on everything that's starting to move a little bit better. So he's moving his arms a little bit. He even has something keeping his head in a neutral position and easing some of that neck tension. He has earplugs in so that he can keep the salt in the water out and even the sound a little bit, although the cabins are soundproof. Right now we have a meditative track, and he also has complete control over the light. although there is light in here. And he's got his eyes closed. If we turn the light off, you won't be able to notice because of the light here, but his eyes open and closed really wouldn't make a difference. So this session is 60 minutes. And some people fall asleep, some people solve a problem, some people get really creative. When you have limited the stimulation, people talking, texts, emails, TV, you never know what your mind can do. And when it comes to stress, floating lowers your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone. So if you do this regularly, it can really lower your stress and you're ready to tackle the world. So how does it feel, Scott? Normally we don't talk to somebody while they're floating, but this is a unique opportunity.
This really, it feels wonderful. I've never been in a situation where I've never had stress on any points of the body. So to sit here and not feel stress on any joints, any muscles, anything like that is really amazing. It feels great.
So here we are in our infrared sauna at Imagine Float. It's a 2-person sauna. You can do it alone or you can do it with someone that you know. We would never put you in here with someone you don't know, obviously. What's different with the infrared sauna versus a traditional sauna? A traditional sauna heats the air around you and you'd simply sweat because it is so warm. In this, it's a dry heat. It heats you from the inside out, kind of creating a false fever to help deal with infection and boost your immune system. And because it's not as hot, you can be in here longer, so you can reap the benefits of being in the sauna longer. You do not shower afterwards at Imagine Float, but you wipe off the sweat and you can continue to detox throughout the day. It's anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, and we have a timer so that you don't stay in here too long. It can be very relaxing. It helps with relaxation, boosting your immune system, pain, and weight loss, cardiovascular, and it's just another way to relax, refresh, renew, and do something for yourself. So this is our cryotherapy sauna. Nakia is in here. Normally you're wearing gloves, booties, and socks. She's just completely clothed to show you what it looks like. So put your hands down, duck your head slightly, and put this top cap over her head. And through the course of the 3-minute service, the nitrogen vapors will fully infuse around her body. We'll have her slowly rotate over the course of the session, and it'll start to get colder throughout the course of the service. It's equivalent to 45 minutes in an ice bath. It helps with chronic pain, chronic inflammation, helps with sleep patterns, and the body is protecting its organs. It thinks that its organs are under attack, and all that, when it realizes the service was over and that was a false alarm, all that blood rushes through the core, reoxygenates through the heart, and goes out to the extremities. So it can boost your mood and help with built-up inflammation. 3-minute service is something that people could do every day or a couple times a week or even once a week as maintenance. People have found benefits from tendinitis to helping with their sleep patterns to prehab and rehab after injuries. It does get cold. We are here to distract you and focus on you the entire time, so it is manageable. The first time you do it, I would definitely say, is the hardest because you've no idea what to expect. But as soon as you get out, people start to warm up and they realize they're reaping the benefits of the service and they're just happy to come back.
Wow, I feel like I learned so much. How was that float, Scott?
That flow was amazing, to really shut the door and to relax, let your body de-stress, and really turn off all of the noise of the world was really fantastic. I can see myself doing that in the future, and I can't wait to come back.
I feel the same way. Thank you so much, Lynn, for having us.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for coming. I'm happy to share everything with you, and we'd love for you guys all to come check us out at Imagine Float. Great gift card ideas for this holiday season.
Yes, you can give the gift of wellness.
Excellent. And don't forget to check us out with our next wellness journey. Thanks so much.
See you soon.
Don't forget to visit us at simsburycoc.org for some information on what's coming up.
Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.